Let's get right. You know what I didn't like? That you guys talked about Donda and Certified Lover when I wasn't here. I actually didn't appreciate that.
Chris, would you have wanted us to wait a whole week, and now we're not up?
Well, I think we should talk.
You gotta get it while it's hot, bro.
I know, but I think we should talk about it again.
You was living your best life, so we have to live ours.
No, because I really fully digested the albums, both albums, and I feel like
Christian's take. You got 3 minutes. Go.
All right, so Donda, I think, is a very good gospel album. You know what I'm saying? There was no cursing, even just let people use the N word. The production on it, masterpiece. The song with The Weeknd and Lil Baby,
Hurricane.
If you cut Kanye West part out, it's a perfect song. Yeah, I was. He blew mine with that. A couple songs he really blew. And so, I'm gonna say this as well. I don't think Kanye is a great rapper anymore. I don't know if he can rap anymore.
I think he's always been a decent rapper, but a great musician.
Yes, great musician. But there was a couple of verses. I'm like, yo, you ever seen like when his verse come on? And you seen that meme where the guy's ripping off the headphones? I was like that. Like that part. I was like, this was such a beautiful.
He was
song.
off himself.
I know, but it was such a like, The Weeknd, 80 degrees. That's beautiful. And then I was like,
to me, sonically though, the best song on the album is 24.
Beautiful. See?
That song will make a nigga cry.
Bro, a couple songs make me want to cry. So he got that. I'll give him that bag. The gospel. If you go, this is a gospel album.
No, I'm not looking at it like that because it's not a gospel album.
But it sounds very much like a gospel album.
That's fine, but you include that many rap artists on it, you making a rap album, bro.
But the rappers are rapping about gospel.
His last album, Kanye went out his way to specifically say,
"Facts.
This is a gospel album." He did not do that with Donda. So I don't think you should give him that. That's kind of leveling the playing field. Look at it as a rap album. It's a really good creative rap album.
That boy can't rap. He needs Sci-Hi to come back and start writing verses for him.
Sci-Hi is stupid.
He not friends with Sci-Hi no more though. But I don't know what happened to Kanye. But like I don't know the last time I heard like Diamond's verse.
Yeah.
Like when is the last time you heard a verse like that? Like his Diamonds Are Forever verse. Or like when or like
Touch the Sky.
Or Dark or Devil in a New Dress.
His verse is crazy on that.
Yeah.
Touch the Sky. Like what happened to those verses?
Bro, I miss Cruel Summer, 2012 when they were doing Good Fridays, dropping something every Friday.
Crazy. And my thing is too, you know how people be like, oh, I miss the old Kanye.
Fuck, that was so good.
Kanye could still rap about what he's rapping about. You don't have to rap out. He could still rap about God and all this stuff, but you could do it like in a lyric. Like you could be a good rapper and rap about what he's rapping about. I feel like he's just not doing that.
Yeah.
And like his whole Playboi Carti bag, he needs to throw that in the trash because Playboi Carti needs to throw his whole career in the trash,
bro.
So anytime you try to act like a trash person, like you, oh my fault, you're a fan of Playboi Carti?
No, it's not that I'm a fan of Playboi Carti.
I was,
but
I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's a part. Like he kind of opened up or like is a part of like a certain culture.
That whole thing needs to go in the trash. That like who's
no, I think it's
exactly what you mean.
Double Down Chris is here to play this Sunday.
Oh yeah, definitely is a good track.
I think it's different creatives.
Garbage. Yeah. Like Koi, what's her name?
Even
that girl from Hackensack. When I was listening to a song.
Uzi's even out of that bag. Uzi's in a different market now.
Uzi makes good music.
Yes.
He's Pluto. He's baby Pluto. I like that for him. It fits him well. But that whole I was on 30,000. It was yo, take that to the trash.
I was an advocate for Playboi Carti until 2018. After Die Lit, that man started doing some questionable things.
And he don't raise his kids.
I couldn't. I ain't know that. But
he stayed to play video games instead of showing it to the birth of his child.
Oh yeah. I think stuff like that is stupid. You're trying to spite somebody, but you're really like
ruining
having a child,
being a bad father.
Yeah, you're being a terrible person.
So,
but to me, his type of that it's run its course. That whole style of music. I think he was good at what he was doing before when it was popular, but he never attempted to grow out of that. Uzi showed that he could rap. Uzi has songs.
Uzi could rap.
Him rapping before, like his name before Lil Uzi. His name was Steaktown.
He was rapping.
Yeah,
like
because he's from Philly.
His verse on the Little Baby's album.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what song that is, but he snapped. And they asked him about it. He's like, I had to, because Lil Baby had to snap.
Yeah,
but
and his cadences, everything, he can change it. Like he has versatility.
Different sounds.
I don't think Playboi Carti has that.
And if anyone who listens to this got offended by my take on Playboi
Double
Carti,
down.
no, let me finish.
Let's get it.
Anybody who got offended by my take on Playboi, I'm not sorry, because that man is trash. And if you like his music, I question your taste for music.
Yo, Jace, he said, and I'd like to take this time to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. Yo.
But I will say no disrespect.
No disrespect. Like, I think, alright, so, like, if you look at, like, subcultures of rap, right, there's always people that spawn from other people. Like, I think now if you look at Baby Keem, he's kind of in that tone of rap, but he's really good at changing himself and putting himself in other bags. Like, from Orange Soda, if you listen to that song, it's like, oh, you could pretty much think that he makes, like, just that poppy type of music. You feel me? Like, it's just...
Is that kind of pop?
No, I mean, like, when I say pop, I mean, like, has, like, a bounce to it.
Oh, okay.
Type of shit. You feel me? And he goes from that to, like, being on a song with his cousin Kendrick and the Family Ties. Like, he's rapping on that shit. That song is hard. The visuals is hard. His new album, I downloaded it. Didn't listen to it yet, so I can't speak about it. But I've heard really good things about his new album.
I like?
His old album, or his first EP, I think it was called. It's called Die For My Bitch. That shit hard. Vori is hard.
Vori's
hard as fuck. I fuck with him. He looks nothing like he sounds. Like, at all.
He's singing about love, but he's kind of gangster. Like Young Blue. Like, it's so funny to me, like, romantic gangsters. Like, wow, you make good love song, but you really a gangster. Like Young Blue.
You said, like, Fetty Wap?
Huh?
Yo,
yeah, listen.
Actually, we support local talent here.
We do. So, honestly,
shout out Fetty.
You just said, this girl asked.
Oh wow! But she disrespect the Hackensack, so
she did.
What she say?
She's from Boston. She said.
Oh, she's Boston?
She was born out there, but she moved out here when she was like 5.
So she said she's from Boston.
She's like that's yeah. I mean, honestly,
that's a write off in my book.
I really don't care enough to talk about it. I moved to Hackensack like a few years ago. I don't got no beef with nobody. I don't care.
A few years ago, DK. A few years ago.
I moved over here in 2014.
That's not a few years, bro.
Now it's been a long time, yes.
But you just said a few years ago.
But I'm saying I don't care enough to talk about the girl like I know her. So I don't want to make it seem like I know her.
So are you from Hackensack?
No.
He won't say it. He won't say it.
I'm not.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
He's from Hackensack.
And anyway,
you from Philly, so
who from
Absolutely.
Hackensack?
I'm definitely from Philly.
That's for us, cat.
I went to school in Hackensack. Yeah. And if you want to be technical, right? I lived in Hackensack my junior year. That's 1 year. Lived in Hackensack my senior year. It's 2 years. Left the school. I lived in Hackensack in the summers. So I really lived in more places these last couple of years than Hackensack. Am I valid on that? I think I am. Kaboom.
You must opinion that was valid or not.
Huh?
Kaboom.
That's like me. Like,
he just
I like
dismissed
me.
Us.
Like I'm from Garfield. You feel me? I feel like I can't even claim anywhere else I'm from. I was raised or born in, and I can't claim it. I've been here since I was.
You a shakehead, boy.
I've been in. I've been in Garfield since I was in 4th grade. I gotta claim it. I can't.
Yeah, I lived in Bloomfield since I was like in kindergarten, and then I moved out of Bloomfield when I was like 18. So I'm from Bloomfield.
You're from Bloomfield.
Like,
2 of my boys from out there, gang members. You know both of them, Swan and Reggie.
Yes. We actually grew up around.
I'm not actually in a gang, people.
Down the street.
Jace look mad because
that would be confusing. Like, why is he shouting these gang members?
Why is he shouting out gang members? Nah, those are my 2 boys, man. Day ones.
Oh, if they are gang members, why are you letting
Wait. Welcome back to another episode of the Demigod Chronicles. This is your boy Asante Dyer, a.k.a. Demigod. This is episode 40. You feel me? Got that 40-ounce bouncing. Lay got an attitude
And
today, y'all.
I do have a really bad attitude, actually.
She thinks
Because
you should
they
have did
didn't tell me it was episode 40. And
You know why? Because on episode 39, we said it's episode 40 next time. So maybe if you would have been for 39, you would have known.
that's fair.
That's what happened, Santi. That's why she
I
doesn't
wasn't
know.
even gonna say that.
That's fair.
This is gonna be my rebuttal.
I'm-
Did LeBron have to tell JR that there was 3 seconds left on that clock?
He should have.
He
Or should JR have been paying attention to the game?
He should have.
he should have.
Yeah, he should have told him. They would have got a
No,
chip right
he
now.
really should have.
Okay.
They might have won the chip.
They probably would have moved better. It would have been more like we could have been outside, doing something. It is so early. We could have been doing an activity.
Are you the event planner?
For
No.
Who's the
episode
event
40, and
I think
y'all
it's
over
a
here
DGC
playing.
member to the left of me.
Jace, you know who the event planner is?
But I'm trying to
the same person
say.
runs the Twitter.
The same person who's HR,
Oh my god.
who don't got nobody next to them.
Okay.
Did you
Okay.
Did you file Jalen's paperwork?
You know what? There's a lot happening these days, okay? And I apologize for me not being as I guess I can be like a little bit more
We're just yanking your chain.
productive and
No, we deadass.
doing more. No, I understand. I do understand you guys' frustration, and I apologize. I can definitely do better, and I'm gonna do better.
Accountability.
But-
She said on the. Oh, and for more accountability, this is our last episode without everyone having their own mic.
Okay, I like that.
I said it now, so
Okay.
Yeah, so next episode you're not gonna have a mic, is what you saying?
no, I'm gonna have my own. It's gonna be attached to this right
Nah,
here.
I'm only fucking with you. But yeah, so some more DGC news.
She wasn't done.
You wasn't.
Also-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I
I wasn't done.
apologize.
Also, we should have done something cute for this episode, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about that after. But I do have an attitude.
I'm just saying, we post the episodes every week.
Every-
I know I have a general idea what episode it is every week.
You know what's funny?
Attitude.
Every time someone says, "I'm just saying," I think of, "I'm just saying you could do better."
You could do better, like.
Whatever. I'm
I'm
over
joking.
it.
I never even gave my certified lover boy tape.
I'm over y'all.
You didn't, but yeah,
I need new
Jalen.
friends.
You know he coach Wheeler now, so he can't be here full time. So Jalen gonna be popping in and out. So you feel me? We gonna see seeing less of my boy Jay, but he's still here, still gang shit. Once again, we're not in the gang, but yeah.
And if we was in a game,
Oh yeah. Tell the people, everyone out there that want to give you
if
marketing dollars.
we was, no, I'm joking. We're not in a game. I wouldn't last.
I wouldn't last.
They would send me on a mission. I'm like, I can't do that, bud. You know why we can't do that? Because that's just not right. They would kick me out. They're like, get this thing out of here.
Like,
You gotta introduce yourself though. Episode.
How you
40.
guys doing? My name is Christian Lopez. I happen to be a coast. That's a new one. A co-host on this show. So yeah, episode 40. That's almost 50. There's 56 weeks in a year. 52.
52.
Almost 52, which would make a year of podcasting. Don't let that go over your head.
well, guys, it's me, Malaysia, back at it.
Jace, I think we need you popping for another energy booster.
Another week.
Jake, how does she sound?
No, do I sound good?
Sound good.
Like she whispering?
Yeah.
Y'all trying to play me.
No, you sound fine.
Anyways, back here for another week with my brother, man. Excited to be here, but I got an attitude because didn't know it was episode 40. So, we're just going to move on. And how's everybody's week and day?
I'm cool.
My
How's
week
everything going?
was great.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Oh.
Where's the rest of it?
Oh. Side note, my take on Certified Lover Boy, it was a great album. Drake has mastered the craft
I was gonna let you go back into that
of making music. All I have to say about him is he's mastered his craft. He knows how to make a perfect melody. But something I wanted to share is, so I read this book called How to Be Anti-Racist, right? And I found out I'm racist. It was a big eye-opener for me. I was shocked. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't consider myself to be racist. But it turns out I happen to be racist. So we're working through that.
Are you racist or are you prejudiced?
No. I'm racist.
Why? Okay, you have to go into a little bit
Yeah.
more
We can
detail
talk
of
about
this,
it. I bet you guys all are all racist. I bet you everyone in here is
Okay.
racist.
Oh man, Demigod Chronicles had a good run. 40 episodes. 40 episodes was a good run, man.
No, bro, you gotta understand what I mean
so
by like.
you guys think black people could be racist?
Of course, see.
I don't.
Right there.
I don't subscribe to that whole thing.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I don't think you have to be the superior race to be racist.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what are you gonna say?
No, why?
Black people can't be racist or can't be racist?
No. I didn't say anything. I'm trying to hear what you guys are saying. Go ahead, finish.
I feel like if you're gonna be like, oh, I hate everyone but me, but because your race isn't the most powerful. I think that was people's argument, was that your race has to be at like
the superior
what
race.
just be
Cameron.
Oh. Yeah, like your race has to be superior to all other races to be considered a race.
That's a concept in the book. That people think that, and it's not true.
Okay, so what side of the coin should we be on? Because, I mean, I think anyone can be racist,
Yo,
honestly.
I'm telling you, I'm racist.
What,
That's crazy.
what I might be describing as racism might be you being prejudiced. Mm-hmm. So, school me, let's get it.
Okay, so racist, these are some things, some key concepts. So racists believe that racial inequality is caused by an inferior black culture. And I can't lie.
Wait, one more time.
Racists believe that racial inequality is caused by an inferior black culture, right? And I was under the belief, I always tell you guys, I feel like we have culture issues, and not just our culture, just in America in general. I always believe that, hey, that if we, I always feel like if we as black people did certain things, like within our culture, we would progress as a group a lot further. But he said to hold this opinion would deem, I didn't agree with everything he said in the book, by the way. He said to hold this opinion would deem you racist, that if you believe that things within a race's culture needs to change in order them to progress, then that's being racist.
Wait, so that makes racism sound good?
Wait, yeah. Yeah.
So what are the people that live in like the deep woods of fucking Alabama that don't skin anything that passes them that isn't white? What are they?
They're racist too, obviously.
So are there different levels of racism?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wait.
Can you say that one more time? Okay, so the racist, because you understand racism is why you're racist.
He's saying,
like,
let me say it. I want to see if I'm at least along the path I should be. I think what he said is being racist means that you see a problem.
No. I'll give you the definition right here. Now, I'll tell you what I said before, but I'll tell you what the definition of racist is.
Okay.
A racist is someone who communicates that ideas that are racist or who supports racist policies either actively or being apathetic. A racist idea is one that posits any racial group as being better or worse than another, either biologically, culturally, or in other aspects. For example, when Thomas Jefferson I like that guy. I used to like that president. Thomas Jefferson compared that African Americans are inferior to white in the embodiment of body and mind. So a racist is someone who's either someone who communicates ideas that are racist or supports racist policies either actively or apathetic. And a racist idea is one that posits any racial group as being better or worse than another, either by biologically, culturally, or any other aspect. Okay. See, and for me, I'm under the belief that, hey, certain cultures, I mean, they're getting better results. So wouldn't we need to improve our culture, right?
Yes. So with what you just said, now let's open up the idea. Like, is he suggesting that there's like positive racism and negative racism?
So
like the negative, because if you can identify a problem, right, and that classifies you as being racist, right? But
is it because you associate that problem with that group?
You identifying the problem and being on the side of the cause of wanting to help it versus being identifying the problem and being like, all right, I'm embracing that idea and that this is wrong.
So I think he would classify that as being anti-racist. So say you pass like affirmative action, for example. Like a lot of people would say, oh, affirmative action is racist, but no, affirmative action is anti-racist because it recognizes the fact that minority groups aren't recognized or aren't part of maybe college or aren't part of, like, say, like my school, for instance, Muhlenberg. They actively went out and tried to get people from inner cities and tried to get minorities into the school. Like, they actively did that. And maybe some people who were from maybe the suburbs, well off, and maybe of a more affluent race group, maybe one of them lost one of their spots because Muhlenberg actively went out and looked for people of minorities. So people would be like, that's racist. But he would demonize that as being anti-racist. Any policy that looks to help out a race group that is clearly like struggling in this area, like affirmative action and things like that, that's not racist. That's anti-racist, he would say.
So I feel like then you would be anti-racist because you identify the problem, but you, I feel like you actively work against the problem within your own. You may not be combating it in a grand scheme of like everyone is going through it, but as far as your life goes, you try to make sure that you, like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
There's more things too that really blew me off that I was like, what the
blew you off? That's what she said. But I'm a child. I'm sorry, but
you gotta send us the
name
of that book.
If anybody clips that shit, just Chris just going, I'm racist. And then just ends the clip right there. Fuck you. Listen to the rest of the episode.
I don't care, bro. People who do that, by the way, like we're gonna come back, but just a little side note. People who do that, like go out there, like say someone's like, oh, I want to mess up Chris, I'm gonna clip it. Maybe there's someone out there like that, bro. Your life is like that's what you live for, to try and cancel someone out of context. Like even people who do it to people who are successful, like people who maybe clip something Kevin Samuel says to try and make him look like a terrible person. Like if you really do that with your life, like what a waste. Like do something productive. You know what I mean?
Waste, man.
I don't want to call them a waste. They're wasting their life because, bro, if your life purpose is to try and ruin other people's lives, then you will never be blessed. You're gonna be a miserable person your whole life. There's no way to be happy on the inside and all your actions show miserable and hate. You know what I mean? So obviously,
one more time.
What?
There's no way to.
Oh, you can't be happy on the end. If you do things that are unhappy and just negative energy on the outside, that's gonna be in you. You know what I mean? What you reflect on the out, like the hate. Isn't there a movie that the hate you give? Like the hate, like you can't be a hateful person and like I hate this, I hate that, or I'm gonna get this person, and then that not reflect back into you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people like even when you want to argue with someone, right? And you're like, I just want to tell them about themselves. What you don't realize is all you're really doing is one, you're gonna make them believe what they believe already even more when you argue with someone, and you're gonna ruin your own mood because that negative energy you're conducting in the conversation is going to come back inside of you and it's gonna be stuck within you.
Absolutely.
So, but back to what we were talking about, the anti-racist stuff. It also said that if you think any race group, and this one really got me. At first, I was going back and forth with him. Like, I know, like, I'm not racist, obviously. This one, I was like, wow, he just educated me.
A quick sidebar.
What?
When you're reading something, right, and in your head you immediately disagree with it.
Yeah. Sometimes
don't you have to say that shit out loud? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I argue with books all the time.
Literally, because it's like, bro, and there's no one there to like say like, yo, look at this. This doesn't make any sense. So it's just like, you know how when you read, it's the voice in your head like, saying the word.
Yeah.
So that same voice was like, I have to make it say like, nigga, that shit don't make no goddamn sense.
I be arguing, bro. I really be writing in books like, I agree with this. I don't agree with this. But he said something. This one really got me. I was like, I really believe this. He goes, if you believe that any race group is biologically different from another race group, that's racist. That's a racist, because it's a racist idea that you're pushing. It turns out every human, black, white, whatever, is 99.99% biologically the same. And not only are they...
There's no technically a race.
But let me even finish. It's even crazier. So there is more similarities with people of different races in your geographical area you were born than a race. Like say like
that's what I was gonna say. It's regional.
So say I'm black, right, and I'm from Africa, right, and I live in Eastern Africa, right, but I'm black. Eastern Africa, black, live there, and you get a black person from Western Africa, right? They look completely different. The person who lives in Eastern Africa will have more features similar to people in that Eastern area, black, white, doesn't matter, than that in the Western African will have more similar features to everybody on the Western side of the board. Black, white, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So your skin color really is of minor significance. Like we're from, like even us, me and Asante, we're from Jamaica per se. We're from, and I think Jamaicans are from like Kenya maybe, right? We would have more similarities to any white country, right? Like physical, that is in that area, than if we went and tried to compare ourselves to people in Ethiopia. We'd look completely different. And to me, I was like, oh, whoa, it blew my mind. Because I used to always think like, oh, black people and white people, like, we're obviously biologically different. Like, we look different, but it's just not true. It's actually, we're all 99.99% genetically the same.
Yeah, I just think attributes are different. You feel me? Because you don't see so many white people that are born with our type of hair. You don't see too many black people that are born with white people type of hair. So when you look into that stuff's different. But I think you're right. Like the actual genetic makeup. So that's what I was gonna say. Is like I feel like regionally, to survive in different areas, people are different. You feel me? Different heights and sizes and.
But even to your point, bro, you gotta look at it like, well, the Bible per se, when it describes Jesus, it describes him as having olive skin, so like probably tan, and having nappy hair.
Like a sheep.
So like even him, you know what I'm saying? So Jesus wasn't per se my dark black skin color, but he had the same hair as me. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's so, even if you see like when you see white people with curly hair or like white people with afros, you know, I think there's a study called genomes.
If you look at Egyptians though, even in today, they'll be like, I have a couple of friends that they're like lace complexion. And they have like when they grow their hair out, their hair's that has a fro, like curls in and everything. So I just think that like that is not like you don't see too many. Like you have people that's like a Blake Griffin, where he's mixed. Yeah, and he look white. He looks white, or like a Logic. He looks white, but one of their parents is completely black. So they have the hair. You feel me,
bro? And it's even crazier, bro, because like this whole idea of like even us to say like he's mixed. You know, race was never even a thing until Portugal. Until it was a thing. It was a thing. They said it was a Portuguese. Maybe it was someone in Portugal. I don't know if it was like a king or someone in Portugal. Wanted to, like, slavery was always a thing too, but someone in Portugal wanted to, I think, start selling slaves, right? Or like he wanted to change the way of life. He did something different, so he created the construct of race to make it okay. Of like, oh, we're selling black people, but he had to create race to then say, oh, people of this race group are inferior to people of this other race group that he created, so he could freely get off selling slaves. Like that's like even in America, that you had to push propaganda just to even make the people who are here believe slavery was okay. Propaganda had to be pushed, so they had to internalize that black people are inferior. Because what really worked, like, so the end of Jim Crow is that you saw the civil rights when you saw people in church clothes and kids who looked like just normal people on TV getting beat, and you're like, that person's looking inferior. The person looks like me. They're going to church on Sunday in church clothes and nice clothes. Like, why are they getting beat? And that made them realize, oh shit, like this isn't right. There's nothing wrong with that group of people. But before TV, that wasn't a thing. Back in the day, you would have never saw that. You would have got a newspaper article. A newspaper by then could just write what they want. But for people to broadcast it, it made people in America be like, huh, like they're not so different from me, you know.
I'd say race is definitely like, you know how fucking, because the Articles of Confederation failed, they had to come up with the Declaration of Independence. They went through the feudal system. They went through the caste system, and in both those systems, genetically, the people that are at the bottom of those systems are always the people that are of darker skin. Yep. The feudal system, it was all had to do with subservitude and freaking you having to work for somebody and stuff like that. But the people that were let into the army was always like the fair skinned people, because it was religious people. They were political, like kings and queens, and then the next thing you could be under that, besides like a regular servant, is military. And the people that was let into the military was like people that looked of lighter skin and were, so it was always like the people that were servants or like in a caste system. They had people that were called untouchables, and it was like you would be better off being touched by dirt than being touched by these people. And it's always the darkest skin.
And you know what's crazy? Even like that construct, like that caste system construct, had to be created for their society to move forward. Like they had to make up the untouchables. Like, oh, don't touch them, don't work with them, because then you can normalize the way you treat them.
And,
you know.
And think about the people that created the society.
Yep, always.
It's always created that no matter where you are in the society, you can't move from there, even with birth.
Yeah, because the people who make it
exactly
want to keep their power forever.
They want to keep their, like, if you look in the caste system, if my family's a royal family, we're gonna be a royal family forever. Yep. There's just gonna be more people introduced into the family. If you look at the feudal system, if my castle is the top of the food chain, my family's always gonna own this castle.
Yep.
And you can't come from subservitude to making yourself into the castle. You stay in that bracket. You might be able to go up and be a sharecropper, but you can't get past that pretty much.
And you know what's crazy, bro? They even them who like live life like that, even for you to make up that rule, you have to have an understanding that everyone's equal, because you're making up a rule and way of society to convince people something that you want them to believe. So you have to go out and then convince people that everyone's not equal, which means you understand everyone's equal. The same way in America, in the sense of, think about it, like back then in the caste system, it's like, oh, we have to keep those people down below, because same way in America, you go from rags to riches. What if someone on the Untouchable was born and he was a genius? He would have worked his way to the top and taken their spot. So the only way to stop that from happening is to say, hey, all these majority of the population, you guys have to stay there and you're untouchable. And my family is going to stay at the top, because at the end of the day, you can't guarantee you're going to keep producing the most ambitious, intelligent people in society. There's no guarantee to that. But I can almost guarantee in that group of millions of people, they're going to produce some really sharp and bright people who will rise to power if you give them the freedom to. And your family will lose power. But they don't want that. You know? They didn't want that.
They have the whole thing like where there's a will, there's a way. If you take away somebody's will, there won't be a way for them. Like, if I know, no matter what I do in life, no matter how successful I am, no matter how hard I study, I will always only be able to make it into the corridor of the castle and be able to harvest crops. How hard am I really going to work? Yep. Like, what's the determination? What's the end goal for myself? But if I was to say, like, listen, you were born, like, your family's like the bottom of the bottom, like they would rather give the food to the pigs before they give it to your family, you know.
My fault. That's just crazy to say.
Yeah, no, but
that's
it's true.
Crazy to say.
It's true though.
They would rather feed their royal animals with food rather than give it to people. That's why you see people like steal bread and shit like that. But if you can't make it out of that, then of course you're gonna be the low level ones that's gonna steal and rob, because it's like, yo, I can't get no lower than this, bro.
Yep.
I can't get no lower than this. So that carries through everything. It's a part of each system, and it's a part of now when you see with races and stuff like that. It's like a person's always put inside of a box, and it's that person's job to realize that they're not a part of a culture that can't rise out of whatever they're in. People will have that standard in their head. It's like, oh, nigga, this is all we got. But that's not true, because if that was true, then everyone that was ever born in your neighborhood would still be in your neighborhood, and that's never the case.
And just so we get back a little bit to your point too about who asked me before if black people could be racist. I want to touch on. So to your point, bro. So when we go back to the black community, he talks about it a lot. I think that's one of the parts in the book where he talks about how black people are racist. So he talks one of the first things he talks about is is skin. There's a belief in the black community that light skin is better. Like light skinned women, for instance, are treated better than dark skinned women are. They said, yo, even when a black person is deemed smart, like say you have a group of people at work or something, and you're like, yo, that black person's smart. When you think about them later, they said you'll remember them being lighter than they truly are. They did studies like they'll come back and be like, oh, that person's light. Yeah, they're light skinned. And it turns out, no, that person's really dark skinned. But when you view them as smart, you internalize of them being lighter because there's a bias that lighter is better. So that's why you go to the number one killer in some Caribbean countries is bleaching cream. Everyone trying to bleach their skin to be lighter. You know what I mean? So that's one of the major ways black people distribute racism, on the sense of, because the way he defines racism is if you push any type of idea or belief. So the belief that light-skinned people are better negatively affects black people. You're saying that the darker you are, the worse you are, all this stuff, and if you believe that in our community, then you're making it worse. You know what I mean? You're making it harder. Another thing he was talking about, and we probably all know people like this, where he said that he was eating lunch with someone one day, and some guy was like, man, I'm tired of these cops treating me like these niggas. So he was a black guy who said that. So he's basically saying, oh, why I have money, I'm in a big nice job, why are they treating me like someone from the hood? So, but why are you creating a separation from the two and saying that you deserve better treatment?
Because you have money.
Because you have money and you're not like those niggas. Like, what What does that even mean to say? How many times we hear people say that? Like, oh, I'm not like that. It's like, bro, what do you mean? Like, by you saying that, you're automatically saying that whatever group that you're saying these people to, you're making them inferior. And you're creating a superiority complex that, hey, because I have this job, even though I'm black, I'm still better than other black. Like, what? You know what I mean? How many black people in our community believe that? You know what I mean? Especially even black people.
To me, that's only true in morality. Like, regardless of whatever race or skin color you are, how light or dark you are, I'm always going to think I'm better than a person that goes out and, like, steals and commits robberies and rapes people and does shit like that. Like, if you're stealing because you're hungry, it's different. If you're stealing because you can, like, you feel me? Or if you're raping someone or kidnapping people or selling people into shit like that, like, I'm always going to think I'm better than a person like that. You feel me? But as far as you being better than somebody because you're from a different area or you being fair, that doesn't matter, bro. Yeah. That really does not matter. Because I've met people from, like, the trenches. I've been some of the, like, nicest people I've ever met. And I've met people from nice-ass areas that just want the, what do you call it? The facade of living a hard life. It's like, bro, you have an easy life and you're pretending like your shit is crazy. I met a kid at school like that. He's like, yeah, bro, shit crazy at home, nigga on Section 8, and all this other stuff. Then one of my teammates was, like, visiting where he's from. And he, like, went to his house. He's like, yo, bro, you got a nice-ass crib. You got a car at the crib. All this other shit. Told mad people. And niggas looking at him like, what? He's like, yeah, I mean, my mom's doing that, but, like, I still grew up hard. But it's like, well, why are you trying to make it seem like, yeah, you know what I mean? Remember in fucking lottery ticket, he's like, I can't eat, nigga, I'm broke. Like, he at school like that, like, talking about something like, this school shit don't work out, like, but there's people that really have that situation, like, they go home. Brandon Marshall talked about this shit on his podcast before, like, he said he would go from playing in, like, the biggest games on TV, like, playing in a bowl game, 50,000 people in the stands, 2 million people watching, like, the live broadcast. Then he finally gets a break. He gets to go home. He come home, and he had to stay in a motel with 8 people in one motel room because his whole family got kicked out their house, and he was there for months. His coach called him, asked him if he's working at, like, how can he get access to a gym at home? How can he? So he was like, a lot of times he just stayed on campus because that was the shit that they had to face, like, going home. So it's like, if there's people that like, you pretending to come from some shit like that, it's super insensitive to the people that's actually going through shit. That's why I hate when people are having bad days and they make one bad day make it seem like their life is terrible. I'm like, yo, there's actually people out there with terrible lives, bro. Like, there's people out there that, you know, lost both parents through the pandemic, lost someone really close to a pandemic, but you're complaining about you not being able to go enjoy your social life with your friend anymore, and you're making it seem like, oh, life's so boring. And so there's people that can't even live their lives anymore, and they would rather be in the house quarantined chilling than not be alive. You feel me? So it's like, you always have to be sensitive to what somebody else is going through, because the same way you saying, like, he's like, why are you treating me like those niggas? If you can see that there's something wrong in the way you're being treated, you shouldn't be okay with them being treated like that to begin with.
Yep.
Like that room with the lady, she's like, oh, who thinks there's a problem with how black people treated? And like barely people raise their hand. It's like, all right, then who would want to be treated like a black person? No one raised their hand. Like, if none of y'all raising your hand, then y'all all know there's an issue. And if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
And that to the point, Arthur's point is that's also racist. Like, so if you know there's issues and you don't do anything about it, like, isn't that what the word, maybe I'm misunderstanding, apathetic. It means like you don't do anything, right? So if you're aware of something, that's what it means, right? Someone fact check me. Apathetic means to like not do anything, right? If I sound like a nut and going to this point.
It means you don't care at all.
Not to care at all. So to my point, like, to the point, so those people in that room, like, so you're aware of it, you understand, but it's like not my problem. That's racist because, and the reason it is the way he defines it. Because anytime you're doing something that pushes or that helps another group by race to be worse off, well, by doing nothing, choosing to do nothing is still a decision. So because of your nothingness or not caring, their lives are still worse off. You know what I'm saying? You're still making their lives worse. So, and there was another point too about black people being racist is that anytime you say things like, this is how you know you're messing up about race. This one got me too. It's like, you say anything like say you say, obviously I don't believe this, I'm just gonna give an example. You say, oh, all white people are evil. Anytime you say something like that, like if you say, oh, all black people run fast, or oh, all Asians are smart. Anytime you say something like that, and you generalize for a group like that, you're being racist. And I remember I took a gender and Jim Crow class, so I found out everything that happened in America from like day one of like laws that were passed, how they treated us. I could say I built up at that time I had like a, not hate, but a distaste for, I would say, white people in general. Because what I learned, I reflected on them. Like, this is you guys' fault. So every time I saw white people, it's like, well, this is your fault. Until I got older and I got a little more educated and realized, no, it's not even white people. It's really not. It's just what's really the issue is, like, even when people say something about white supremacy, they're really not talking about, because at the end of the day, if you go to Queen Elizabeth's house, the people who get her out of bed, make her bed for her, wash all her clothes, make her food, I'm pretty sure a large percent of them is white. Those people, when she's walking and they're all screaming, she's like, don't touch me. Those are all white people. So it's not that white supremacy thinks they're superior to black people or other races. It's no, my family bloodline is superior to everybody's. So Dick Gregory helped me understand that, like, white supremacy isn't about white people. You know what I'm saying? He said the most black people, he was the first black person to run for president. He's like, if I became president, the first thing I'm gonna do, he was a comedian too, is make all black people apologize to white people. Because he said, you guys are mad at the wrong white people. He was like, yo, be serious. Like, be really serious with yourself. You think the Ku Klux Klan makes public policy? Like, you think the Ku Klux Klan is in these meeting rooms making the policies? You're so mad at the Ku Klux Klan, but who's the one who signed all these policies that work against? Who was the one who signed in this whole war of drugs things and made coke less of a sentence and crack 10 times the sentence, and then put crack in these neighborhoods? But you're mad at the Ku Klux Klan. No, for what? He goes, most of the time, the white people, black people are mad at, couldn't help them even if they liked them. Even if your neighbor Jerry doesn't like you because you're black. Even if he did like you, he still wouldn't be able to help you. Because he's not the one in the White House signing public policy. He's not the one at the bank, like, not loaning money to, like, it's not him. He's not the one signing these papers that puts things into law. You know what I mean? Like, there's laws that work against black people that are racist laws. Like, that's what the people who are doing that, those very select few group of people, that's who your distaste should be directed towards. Not to say that, oh, all white people are evil. Bro, they don't have no power. They can't do nothing. Like, what are you mad at them for? You know what I'm saying? One person signs something negative in office, and now you're mad at everybody. You know? So, the book was very eye-opening. And like before, it's not that I'm racist. I didn't, like, especially in the way most people listening. When I say you guys, people listening, not in the way you guys understand racist is what I meant by I'm racist, because I'm not that. I have no hate in my heart for anybody. It's just the fact that I have belief systems that are not true, and my belief systems help create an environment where racism can live. because I have beliefs that, if I'm white, because I'm black, I'm probably more athletic. Like, that's just not true. You know what I mean? We're all 99.99% the same. Like, there's really no genetic difference. You know what I mean? Like, so.
There's only one thing that's true. That son of do niggas in.
Yeah, but
I'm Gucci.
But it's like, bro. But guess what? If we took our family line, right, and put them in somewhere cold, eventually our genes. I forgot this. I don't know this. I'm gonna butcher this. So there's a study like of genomes. So a lot of these genes and stuff are like dormant in us, and they get activated. I think based on the environment, and your environment can be like your real environment or even your mental environment. Like the amount of stress you hold in your head activates certain genes in you. So that's what, like, diseases and stuff. They're starting to figure out, like, you being stressed out all the time actually triggers certain genes of diseases to activate.
You can wear yourself sick with it.
You know what I mean? So it's more so about it's racist, bro. Skin color and shit, bro. It's really the fact that we even it was sold to us, but like I don't know if it would be broken because humans do like to put themselves into groups. That's why, like, the Yankees, Red Sox, for instance, is so, like, thriving. People like to put themselves into groups and then associate for the group, cheer for their group. So that part of humans is natural. What was unnatural is the fact that we started grouping ourselves by race. So you can never stop humans from putting themselves into groups and wanting their group to go further ahead than the other group. The fact is that now that we do it about race, and that's the issue. What we really should do is we're just all the human race.
Yeah.
But,
and we should fix problems. And I feel like you mentioned this at hand to, like, fix the actual problem. Like, we were talking about this when we were talking about the gender thing.
mm-hmm.
That we should focus on fixing, like, actual problems instead of, like, trying to blame, like, other things. I feel like that was, like, another good point that you were talking about when.
And with race, bro, the real, like, there's policies.
Yeah.
There has to be, there's laws and stuff like that, bro, that are, like, bro, they still haven't even got the fact that, like, bro, there's legal slaves. People are legally slaves. Like, you go to the jail, all these big jails, and they force people to work for free. What does the amendment say? Slavery's illegal unless, boom, boom, boom. And now what do you have? What happened after that? What's the U.S. incarceration rate? What do they do with these people? They're working. They put them to work for free.
Swell.
You know what I mean? So you got to look at this stuff, bro. And if you really want racism to change, it's not so much about this white lady at the gas station always giving me a problem. She's racist. I'm gonna tell her about her. What are you doing? Meanwhile, you people was locked up for weed, which is legal now, and then forcibly put to work. Like, that's the issue.
Yeah.
You know.
That's where we need to start from. Issue and come out and branch out. I mean, like like I said before, like, we have to start focusing on like real issues and things, like the real problems of situations instead of like trying to blame it on other things.
Yeah.
I have a current event. Met Gala. Did you guys see Cortez?
Yeah.
That tax the rich?
Yeah.
What are you guys' views on that? She's getting some heat for it because people are like, it's kind of like tax the rich, but then you're at this like event that everyone that attends it is rich.
I think, especially,
Let's repeat it for the people.
Yeah.
They might not pick it up. They might be listening to audio.
Okay.
So Jace brought up a current event of the week, the New York Fashion. What was Met Gala? New York Fashion Week. What's her name?
AOC. Alexandria
Ocasio-Cortez. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She wore a dress that at the back of the dress said "Tax the Rich," and there was a bunch of mixed reviews about the dress, because she's at like one of the most prestigious events.
30K a plate.
30K a plate, word.
30K a plate. Yikes.
I think the issues, and it's only a liberal issue. It's not all politicians. So liberal politicians, I think what they don't realize sometimes is like they have this some of them are at war with the rich, and they don't realize that they are rich. You know what I'm saying? So when you're saying things like tax the rich, if you make over 6 figures, you're pretty much the per capita, I think for America is like what, 50,000, 55? So if you're making 300,000, you're rich. You're rich. I'm gonna say wealthy, but you're a rich person. So there's like this war against rich people, and I'm curious for what? Like, what's your problem with rich people? But I think what they really mean is like Jeff Bezos or something. But it's like, yo, that guy worked his ass off for like 20 years.
That ass.
What's your problem with him? You should be thanking him because the amount of because of what he did. Look how many employees Amazon has. Look how much they progress society. What are you gonna do with the money? Put it towards the military?
I think they don't like the fact that the rates for taxing and everything is lower for the rich. I think that's the problem. Because if their percentages were the same as everyone else's, I don't.
What do you mean lower for the rich?
Like,
and that's, I would say that's another thing too. People don't realize. Like, I know a lot of rich people, bro. They pay stupid amounts of taxes.
They do. But there's also the more money you have, the more ways there is to get rid of your taxes.
Yeah, but there's ways, like, you could feel like, obviously, like, if you, especially mostly business owners, if you're a business owner, you can finesse.
Yeah, but definitely.
But bro,
and most people do. I think that's what a lot of people's issue is.
Like, people think most people are doing what Donald Trump did. No, most people, like even me, I do what I can to pay as little taxes as possible.
As you should.
Everyone does that. But to be like, yo, the rich don't pay. People who believe the rich don't pay taxes, that's a terrible misconception. Yeah. Like, and these people are dropping. I'm sorry, continue.
No, go. No, I cut you
off. I think the people that believe that without cause is an issue. But there is, like, public records of people that own hospitals, people that, like, there's a lot of people that are in certain industries that they figure out a way to get out of paying taxes. And a lot of that stuff is public record. So for the people who are talking about cases like that, I would agree with them. But for the people who are just saying it just to say it, I wouldn't agree.
Bro, it's the same thing we said before about the race thing, though. What we tend to do as humans is I forgot what the bias is called, the actual name, but we take one thing and we generalize that to the group, right? So we might see something like you're saying, a couple people finessing here and there. We might see someone like Donald Trump and be like, oh, that's what all of them do. Bro, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? You got people paying. Like, people get on Amazon for not paying taxes as a company. Bro, I had a project on them when I was in college. When I was in college, bro, we were looking at their financial statements. It's part of a project. No one said anything when Amazon was losing $1 billion every year. When they were losing all this money. When they were in the red. I remember, red. And I would told myself, I'm like, how is this country even around? Like, how are they going to make it?
Amazon?
Just fast forward. Like, when they were just selling books and doing all these things, losing money. And when they were expanding, losing money. And now that they're making money and he's set off to the sunset to go do his little spaceship, now it's a problem. But when he was losing all this money, not a word, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why people, bro.
Yeah, I understand why people get, like, I guess frustrated, because it's always going to be different. Even if it was to be the same, we were going to get taxed the same, it wouldn't be like the same percentage because not everybody's making the same, obviously. Yeah. So I understand the frustration, but yeah, it's kind of just like petty, like jealous shit.
I think most people who talk smack, they would switch lives in a second.
Yeah, cause what the fuck? Like, you work so hard, and
I don't know. I feel like right now we're being a little one-sided. I do think there is an underbelly of those things that this has been brought up for. You feel me? Like, there's a reason why people have brought this up. We may be seeing, like, the positive sides of it. Like, yeah, this person might be getting out of this, or that person might be getting out of this. But there could be just as many people doing that as there's as many people doing the wrong thing. You feel me? Mm-hmm. It could be completely split. Or there could be more doing the right thing than less. Mm-hmm. But I think that statement just needs to focus on the people who aren't doing it correctly. Not more so than the people who are doing it correctly. Because those people don't matter because they're doing what they need to be doing. And they're the people who are getting the write-off, like Amazon, they're talking about all of the people. But everyone that works there has a stake in the company. Everyone that works there. like he makes sure, like, I mean, yeah, you have things that are under his control but aren't really under his control.
He don't even work there no more.
Huh?
He don't work there
No,
no more.
I know.
Yeah.
But there was things that were like, people were like, oh, these workers aren't being treated well. Maybe there's a regional director that fell under. And he didn't do his job. Or maybe there's you feel me? There's other people. That's not Jeff Bezos telling a low-level person in the company, no, you can't have off for your daughter's birthday. So, like, customer morale doesn't have anything to do with the CEO of the company. So I understand that. But I just think that statement, I would stick to that based on the people who are doing the wrong things and getting out of taxes the wrong way.
Yeah.
But as far as the people who are making a lot of money, that fucking, they getting these write-offs here and there, and it's profiting them and it's helping other people too, fuck it.
And that's
do your thing.
Bro, and that's such a human thing to, like, we humans love to focus on, like, the negative things. You know what I mean? So, like, one or a couple bad people has more of a significant impact on a human than the 1,000, like, I think they say for every one bad thing that happens to you, you need like 20 good things to happen to you to really offset the bad thing in your head. And that's so human, bro. Like, why do we, I don't know why God made us this way, but like we love the negative side of things always. Like even her tax the rich. And now because of that, because of the way she moves and the things she says, there is a cusp of people who might firmly believe that rich people don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Because of what she did, that now there's probably a group of Americans who are negative, and because they negatively feel towards rich people, now they don't want to become rich, and now they don't want to work hard to maybe make a lot of money because they think people who are rich are evil people. When it's like, no, now you're hurting your family. You know what I'm saying? Because of this belief system, where you're getting a belief system given to you without an explanation. Tax the rich, or she says a lot of bad things about rich people, or like those people, and it's like, bro. Like when you talk about someone like Jeff Bezos, are you talking about the fact that he quit his corporate job, put his family at risk, and went to go work in his garage for all these years, and then built the biggest company in the world from the ground up? Do you tell that story?
I think you just have to be educated on what you're radical about. I think that's what people aren't doing.
You shouldn't be radical about anything, bro. Almost anything.
Not
very few things to be radical about.
Not radical, but things that you believe in and that you're willing to like push forward. You need to do all the information, like research all the information that you need before you start just spewing things out. Because people, oh my God, tax the rich, do this, do that. But if you don't know what you're talking about, then you shouldn't be disagreeing with that. You feel me? Like. You shouldn't be telling people, oh, we need to do this or we need to do that. But what if there's another way besides doing that to get that money, to free that money up? What if the reason why these people are doing these things is so they can take this money? And like, I'm pretty sure you're not looking at all these people's accounts. You're not. A lot of people want to be outraged by shit, but they don't know what they're outraged about. Like the same way, like to play devil's advocate with what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. How you're saying that because they said that thing, people focus on that one small thing. But there's a bigger scheme. There were people that were using that argument for Black Lives Matter, like, oh yeah, you guys are saying that this small amount of people is being killed by the police. It's not a lot. There's actually more white people being killed by the police, but there actually is more white people than there are black people, so duh. Yeah. And you look at all the people that aren't being killed by the police, but that statement isn't too focused on all the people that aren't being killed. Mm-hmm. Just like this statement isn't necessarily focused on everybody that is doing the right thing. But the people who are outraged by the people who are doing the wrong thing, like, be more specific. You feel me? Like, I think everybody within everything they're doing needs to be more specific. And I'm not saying Black Lives Matter needs to be more specific, but I do think we started getting into the fact that, you know, it's like defund the police and this is wrong and police brutality and look into these things.
And that's and I think especially with politics and like politicians, I feel like they have this belief that the average, like, they're smarter or more intellectual than the average citizen. Mm-hmm. So they just give out, like, they always want to be, like, catchy or smooth or, like, that's it, the game, tax the rich, or, like, something always, like, fancy, and not, like, they will never, like, I feel like
state the problem.
They won't do that, because they feel like, I think they believe that they're smarter than the average citizen almost, like, they don't need to let us make our own decisions, or they don't need to let us, think things out, because what's the point?
Because that's when you leave the leeway for that silver lining of people like, oh, but this happens. Like, if the statement was, if it wasn't Black Lives, let's play devil's advocate. If it wasn't Black Lives Matter, and the statement was, get police to stop killing black people, unarmed black people, and that was the statement. That was the whole movement. Anyone who disagrees with that, you know they're problematic. Yep. If the statement was, tax the companies who are wrongfully getting out of their taxes and who aren't doing things for their community. If that was a statement, and anyone has a problem with that, well, just because they're doing it wrong and they're not going to help the good. Anyone that's arguing against that, you know what side they're on. It's very clear. If you say tax the rich, you're like, but there's people that are rich that worked hard, and you feel me? Which is valid. And if you say Black Lives Matter, there's people like, all lives matter. Everyone should matter. And that's true. All these things are true in a perfect world, but we're not in a fucking perfect world. And as far as we see the last 2 years, we're fucking far from it. So the fact of the matter is that you have to be specific in your argument, because people are lazy and people aren't going to look to see that. People are going to first look to see the problem in whatever you're saying. Just like this lady, the amount of money that you spent on the dress, on the plate at the event, all that fucking money, you talking about tax the rich? That shit is fucking being a tax write-off for one of these big ass companies.
Yeah, because they definitely gave it to her for free.
You feel me? Everything was for free. So it's like you're trying to portray that you're not part of the problem, and you in the fucking belly of that shit. You're in the belly of that shit. You're with all the people. You're rubbing elbows. It's not like you're there saying tax the rich, and then you're just in the thing moving tag. Like, nah, I ain't fucking with you, nigga. Let me see your tax breaks. Like, no, you're in there mixing, mingling, getting contacts, making relations, all this other stuff.
And my thing is too, bro, it's hard for me to believe, like, are you not, like, you're rich, right? Like, she's probably well off. She's a she's a Congress, she's probably rich. Oh yeah, we've been chatting it up, boy. I get all, what time is it? We didn't even do song of the, oh yeah, we gotta do song of the week. We've been chatting. Time flew by today, holy shit, live. An hour, been talking for an hour? Jesus Christ. What the heck?
But yeah, so you want to move on?
Yeah, what the hell?
All right, so Song of the Week this week features a member of DGC, Jalen. He not in the song, but he in the video. It is Matchmon.
Is this a local artist? Oh, we gotta tell them what we're doing now.
No, we're not gonna announce it. We're just gonna start doing it. But yeah, this week, Richie, Cool Beans, Plainfield Natives, Jalen's Boys. It's a really important song for that group. You know, Jalen lost his brother a couple months ago, and this is a song that, you know, they shot in memoriam of him. It's a really good song. Matchmon, Richie featuring Cool Beans on YouTube. Go stream that. Oh my God!
We love you, ASAP.
Baby, did you make this?
My homie that I can get back time. I see your energy match mine. I done been fucked up, I done been dead broke with my homies, and that's fine. I tell my youngest nigga stop crying. Straight to the money, nigga, max time. You do shit we don't condone. Pillow talking on the phone, suck a nigga to the flat line.
I got niggas in the field drumming, think I'm Dr. Lee. Hit the gas after we pill something, ain't no stopping me. He like, can I get a deal or something if you copping 3? First time I got a couple pints, felt like I copped the key. Qualitis and MGP. She said that I'm my asshole, told her that's a fact. Give a fuck who you gon' get, bitch, you won't get them back. I got Millie riding with me, he'll turn into a pack. I be feeling like a Mac in this fucking Cadillac. Who roll up that loud pack, chill out with that fine top, fearing all these niggas, I be feeling like a bastard. Bad bitch with me, putting dick all by her tonsils. She said she fuck with blow, bro, got something for your nostril. My bitches say I'm different when I leave it, something missing. Sometimes they still don't listen, but I guess that come with pimping. Flocko hit the bitches, bro, find out what they sipping. Gotta stay up off our G, so
my homie that I can get back time. I see your energy match mine. I done been fucked up, I done been dead broke with my homies, and that's fine. I tell my youngest nigga stop crying. Straight to the money, nigga, max time. You do shit we don't condone. Pillow talking on the phone, suck a nigga to the flat line. I done had a long day. I'm from a place where niggas get murdered in broad day. Mostly over pussy, they sweated, they fong sway. While I was in the dorm, cuddle shorty from Pompeii and shooting all these rifles, Michaela and Kanye. I'm a different type of nigga, boy. Don't fuck with me if you ain't really with it, boy. Skinny, with pride of a midget, boy. And if I want your bitch, I could really get it, boy. I move with a smile, with a mind of a savage. And I love my girl pussy, I crave it like an addict. Fell in love with she, looked at me at a pageant. Her pops went around, so she treated me like a daddy. Understand this, I'm that nigga. And if you got me, you can get bigger. And I ain't type of nigga you get rid of. And now
this week, right? The episode 40. It's another milestone, whatever. Okay. So I had seen last week, like everybody else did, they did that fucking Blue's Clues thing.
The what?
Blue's Clues, like Steve, he released some video.
What? I didn't see this.
The original guy from Blue's Clues, he released a video. He was saying like he knows he left the show abruptly. He was telling people why he left the show. He left to pursue college and all this other stuff. People think it's bullshit.
We don't care.
Yeah, and he was just saying like it was just like some heartfelt.
How long ago did that happen?
Exactly.
Like 20 years ago?
But yeah, it was mad long ago.
Yeah, he came out and put a public statement about something that happened 20 years ago.
Like we gave a fuck?
Yeah, but it was like through it was PR for Blue's Clues. That's why they kind of did it. It was like, he didn't do it like on his own personal profile type shit. So it's like like they did the 3 generations of the Steves on the show.
Okay, it was a
and then it was marketing.
Okay, I thought he just came out of nowhere.
No.
He was in his bag today and decided to press record.
He was in character.
Yeah, he was in character.
Yeah.
He was in character.
Gotcha.
He was in character as Steve, and he was saying that like I've been away from you guys so much. He's like, you've grown so much, and like since I've last seen you, he's like, I'm glad we're still friends. And he says like why he left and stuff like that. And he was like, through all these years, he's like, you've like kept trying and kept doing stuff, whatever. And also a bunch of people was like talking about it on the internet. There's obviously people making fun of it. Some people was like, yo, that's like really, it's fucking weird, but it's like a Blue's Clues thing like really hit home for them, like as a grown ass adult, like at like where they are in their life right now. So I thought with like us hitting another milestone within 40, like another 10, we talk about like the growth of us, the growth of the episodes, like how far we've come in our journeys, stuff like that. I thought that would spark up an interesting conversation.
My public speaking skills have gone to another level from doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like at work, I started a book. I'm the book club leader, and I gotta like host meetings and speak. I never miss a beat. Like, even when I'm doing like other speaking events or like someone wants me to host their event, I don't fumble over my words. I speak clearly. I don't even need like a script. I could just speak now because I'm so used to just sitting down the podcast and just speaking. So thoughts come to me. So I think doing this has helped me in my public speaking skills. It's made me more selective with the words that I use. Like I have a habit now. Like when I'm really trying to articulate myself, because of this, I'm able to like really slow down and think about every single word I want to use when I'm speaking. And doing this podcast, because it's all auditory, I think it's just helped me enhance my speaking ability in all aspects. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's definitely gotten me out of my comfort zone. I'm not like really, I'm a people person, but not a people person.
Yeah. Now you're an extrovert?
Yeah, no, I don't really be liking people too much. So, it just kind of got me out of my comfort zone and being open and free to express my thoughts without being like always like, oh, but what about what this person thinks? Like, I kind of just found my own thoughts, I guess.
You know what I can say too, Lay? Remember when you used to say like a lot?
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore.
Oh. Watch me do it like a million
times. Maybe like here and there, but remember you used to say it like a lot. Like,
yeah.
But now you just don't.
Look, thank you. I appreciate you for
and I think you're more open now. You speak louder. You're more confident.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that change from like the first time you were a guest to now. Definitely a lot of growth.
I feel it. I feel like comfortable. Like this, my little zen. So I come out here and do our thing.
Zen enough, yeah. Zen enough, yeah.
CTFO.
Yeah.
But me personally, I feel like since the podcast has started, I'm able to kind of, I don't know, how do I describe this? Because now you guys are freaking put me through mad loopholes today. How to try to describe shit.
You don't want no issues, bro.
But honestly though, I think how I've grown since the podcast has started is just like dealing with like adversity more, I guess I would say, because a lot of things in life for me and for most people, you know, are things that you can't really control, and this podcast was actually a result of that. You know, I had to take a gap year off football, and this is something I started like while I was at school. It's like trying to do all the planning for it, trying to figure out how I do it, what does the pieces look like, and I made the profile for the podcast maybe in like, I want to say like November, like 2018, something like that. Whole time thinking, I'm like, yo, am I gonna just record by myself? I've never done a podcast. Just the whole time, just the planning and just seeing everything fall into place. I think for me, outside of, you know, things in my life not being in place, gave me more perspective on things that, you know, sometimes you don't know how things are going to work out. Mm-hmm. You don't really see how, you know, how to get things started, but it's still important to take that first step. Yeah. And as you take that first step, you figure things as you go along. Mm-hmm. And then you find people, you find a tribe, you know, and it's important to keep those people around you because, you know, we had a conversation a couple weeks ago where we were talking about how important it is that we all found people that are like-minded. And Jace was saying, like, as far as that, like, that's a win within itself because there's a lot of people who maybe don't succeed because they're around people that they don't breed an environment where that's a possible thing. Yep. And I think with us, you know, holding each other accountable, you know, making sure that everybody's, you know, getting sharper, you know, we're doing things that kind of suits everybody, that it's conducive to the behavior of, like, creating positive attributes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's most important, and that's how maybe I've grown in this time, because this whole time, you know, I still haven't been able to step back to the field. You know, I got a scholarship that I wasn't able to just constantly, like, I mean, just instantly, like, go in and go do, and usually, like, that would, like, get me so upset. It's like, you know, I finally felt like everything was about to happen, everything was set, but it's just like, nah, maybe take one more semester, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe it just gave me that peace of mind to just know, like, even if it's not happening exactly how you need it to happen, it's still happening. Mm-hmm. And then just, like, kind of enjoy the process, and just to make sure that you're kind of being aware of your emotions in that time, because, like, that's, like, we're in our origin story right now. So, like, that's how I really feel, like, when I think about this shit. Like,
you think we'll get a movie?
Yeah. I mean, what Drake said, even if they make a movie, it's going to be hard to reenact, you feel me? No cap.
We're going to dramatize it, going to throw us fighting during planning meetings.
For no reason, right?
Yo, we should do it this way.
But nah, like, yeah, that's I think like, I'm really happy that this has started. And I know usually I don't, you know, get this much caught up, but trying to get everything out of my head, because, like, you guys really have put yourselves into something that you don't even know what it is. You feel me? Like, I just asked something of you guys, and you guys made sure that you know, brought yourself into something. And I think for most people, like, if somebody's like, yo, go apply for this job, and they're like, oh, what do they do? I don't know. What do they pay? I don't know. Like, most people's not going to go to that interview. You feel me? So I feel like that's kind of how this happened. And the fact that you guys did it is kind of, I feel like it's off the strength of me. And I will always appreciate you guys for that.
And I'll do that shit again.
Nigga said
how we rock.
Yeah. So, yeah, as far as, like, personal growth with the show, like, how do you guys feel like, you know, some of the things that you were dealing with in your personal lives?
Wait, breaking news? What
compared to something about the FBI.
I thought when I said we got our current event.
I saw something about the FBI too. What did it say?
No, breaking news on DDC.
Human remains found in Wyoming are consistent with the description of Gabby Petito.
Oh no, that's sad. That's that girl that went missing.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Thanks.
All right, what were you saying though?
But yeah, like, how do you think things outside of yourself and the podcast, not how it affects you in your life, but just how things have progressed since you started? Like, look at that check mark of, you know, when we started and when you started. Like you think it's going in a more positive direction. Maybe right now, you know, you're in a stage where things may not be the best, but like just talk about a little bit about that, about your growth and stuff.
Oh, like outside the pod, like
personal.
Oh, so personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when the pod started, I think I just moved into this apartment, so that's been a lot of. I don't know for anyone who's ever lived with a girlfriend or something or a boyfriend. I'm just gonna let you guys know that shit ain't.
Sorry.
Bless you. You sneeze?
I was trying to stop myself from laughing.
Oh, but as I would say, that shit is not for the weak. If you're gonna do that, just be prepared. I know some people want to do it to get cute. Let me tell you something. Don't do it to get cute. You do it if you got to be prepared. There's a lot of conversations you're gonna be having that I would recommend not only do it if you're gonna do it. So that happened, bro. Career wise, gotten better. I took over more responsibilities. So hopefully I get this raise. This coming up, you know what I'm saying? So took a lot more responsibilities, man, and just a lot more of finding out myself and who I am. I feel like I'm in a very big, a transformational phase of my life, because I think prior I was ending my realization phase where I had to accept reality. Like I had to figure out what reality was. Like what is real life? You know, I had to study. I had to mature myself. I had to learn and educate myself. Not educate myself in terms of a school. Like no, educate yourself on what's life. Like what is it really like out here? Yeah. And I did that. And then now I'm going through a phase where it's like, yo, you got to accept these things. You have to accept the harsh realities of life. You know what I mean? There's certain things that about reality that are just true, and they're not great. We don't live in an ideal world. We live in the world, and some of these harsh realities you have to accept. And right now I'm in a phase where truly accepting them, and through that I know I'll transform into a new person, because it's been a complete rinsing of my belief systems and creating a new belief system that I know will help me fare better in this world. So I feel like that's where I'm at right now in my life, and I know once this is over, that it's just gonna be like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, or like a bird coming out of an egg. You know what I mean? It's gonna be something new and better than what I was. So
from where I started to now is honestly been a movie. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. My life has been a roller coaster, and I honestly I feel like it's just like kind of me finding myself right now. Like I'm just like in that young and dumb phase, and I'm like fucking up and I'm figuring it out, and then I'm fucking up again, and then I'm figuring it out. But other than that, I'm just blessed to be alive, man. There's so much more worse shit that could be going on, and I'm kind of just blessed that I have somewhere to sleep at night. I have y'all if I ever need somebody to come to, and I just kind of just been working on myself and trying to be better for future me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
you didn't mention the haircut.
Yeah, chop all my hair off. That was just it's giving me very skin cringy, like.
Wait, you wish you didn't do that? No, you did say that. They said if you ever want to cut your hair again, don't do it. Yeah.
Think about it.
It looks nice though.
It looks very nice, very much Megan Good vibes.
I know, but still, it's just like I hate it.
Something.
Outside of the podcast, I feel like I've become more goal oriented. I would say.
I like that.
Since we started, I definitely started reading more. Well, again, since we started, because in school, you always have to read, you know, what they're telling you to read, and you have to, you know, go through this PDF and read pages 80 through 95, and this is like, if I'm reading 15 pages of some other shit, I'm definitely not gonna want to go read an extra book on the side.
That's my reading.
So I think, you know, me being outside of school helped me get back into that, and you know, cause over here lending her brother some books.
I'm a library.
What else? I think I've become more Well, today's not a good display of it, but I've become less argumentative as a result of the podcast.
He's been very argumentative today.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Very combative today.
And that's, yep, you're completely right. And that's me not being argumentative. I've been able to articulate myself a lot better, as far as it comes to, like, you know, conversations and dealing with other people's ideals and having that, okay, like, all right, we can agree to disagree. Because we've had some podcasts go fucking 2 hours because we're all in here just like, no, you're wrong.
Remember that day we were arguing about Young Thug, the most influential rapper in
for like 4 hours,
we
bro.
argued
on a break. On a break. After song of the week, on a break we were arguing. No cap.
It always gets like that with y'all.
Cousins. Yeah. It's competitive out here.
Whatever.
But yeah, I think outside a lot of my attributes in my everyday life has gotten better. You know, I definitely feel like I've taken the time more to put work within myself and realize that me as myself is a entity that I can, you know, make money off of, as far as like master studios and, you know, the podcast and stuff like that. Making myself more marketable. Relationships have gotten a lot better. You know, definitely like meet a lot of new people. I think me staying out of what do you call that?
drama.
Yeah, but drama at like staying what is it called when you're not like dealing with anybody? I want to say celibate.
Oh, like relationship wise?
Yeah.
Single?
I think that's what.
Yeah, I guess we say single.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I would say,
same.
you know, definitely was single when it started. I'm still single, and I think that has been a good thing for me because a lot of times before I feel like I would, you know, get involved with other people, and then when you get involved with other people,
Take on the drama.
I mean, it's not only just drama, but it's just, you know, you having to take the energy to get to learn someone else, get to know like what makes them tick and all that stuff. Like that's the energy required for other people, and at a point in life that is always, I would say, that energy that needs to be put in another person. But I just think as far as it comes to me right now, it's best that I put all that shit into myself.
No, 100%.
So, yeah, a bunch of things have changed, but it's like it's small compound changes. I'm not necessarily that much more in a better position than I was before, but I feel little things are getting better.
Yes, sir.
You know, got a little bread in my pocket, cooling out, shit like that. But yeah, everything is it's small wins. That's how I'm learning to see things. Everything's gonna be small wins, and I think as far as, you know, having the podcast, you can kind of gauge things in your life to go along, because it's like, oh, Sunday's right there.
Yep.
You know, you just think about it. So.
And my plant died.
And your plant died. R.P. What was his name? His or her name?
I didn't have one.
You didn't even name it.
You name plants?
You disrespectful.
Yeah? You name plants?
It's a living, right?
Oh, okay. That one, the big tall one, we're going to call that.
It's your show. It's your kids.
All right, we're going to call that one.
You going to tweet out in the hospital? What should I name this motherfucker?
That one we're going to call long bread.
Long bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one we're going to call Sharkeisha.
Okay.
And that one we're going to call the Django.
Django, you mean?
Long bread,
the Django. I like the Django.
And Django.
You want to pronounce the D?
I feel like it because it like it's long. I feel like it's growing long. It gives me that kind of vibe.
Like a whip?
All right.
Wow.
All right.
He already said he was racist early in the episode.
Wow.
But nah, yeah, I feel like everybody's definitely making strides and, you know, trying their best. So I think it's time to wrap up.
We gonna do Jace? No. No. Okay.
Jay said he's only been here for like a month or two, so they didn't really give a fuck. That's crazy, right?
Be like that.
But don't forget. There's no beef. All right. Don't forget. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. Subscribe.
Rate and comment on the show, whatever platform you use. Rate it whatever platform you use, rate the show and comment. Por favor, yo necesito eso. Gracias.
Do that thing. This has been another episode of Demigod Chronicles. We appreciate you for tuning in, whether you stopped listening after 15 seconds, whether you made it to this point. We appreciate you for even giving us a chance. Follow everyone on their respective social medias at cb.lopez, at Elijah Ashley when she's available, because she's exclusive like a sneaker drop.
She been active now though.
She active right now.
She's
so
big active right now though.
Go tap in with Larry. You got Jay at J Squay and myself at Master Studios, MSTRD _studio spelled with a V and _ Demigod _ and follow the page on Instagram at the DGC _ and on Instagram at the Demigod Chronicles _ schedule Sunday, Greenhouse Poe, feel me, shout out gang, go get that. Once again, we're not in a gang. And yeah, this has been episode 40. Check your growth. Fucking drink water, mind your business, be kind to people. Chris to the people with some Spanish.
Gracias para escuchando, te aprecio muchísimo, gracias por todo y todo bien, adiós.
This has been another installment. Out of here. Bow.
Gang out. Oh, don't hurt yourself.